Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Megan, and I'm here with another Stephen King project book review. The project in which I read a Stephen King novel chapter by chapter. This time, since it's not really a week, this time I'm going to be talking about The Gunslinger. I almost called it the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone? That's not even the name of the other novel. The Gunslinger. So this is book number 1 in the Dark Tower series. This is also a reread for me. I read this for the first time in 2017 and I loved it. I rated it 4 stars then and I'm rating it again 4 stars. My thoughts haven't changed since then. I recently reread my review and everything that I said I pretty much stick by. I really like King's writing in this. You can it feels like he kind of found a thesaurus and was just like prettifying a lot of words and it was a lot of fluff, but I really liked it. And I mean, this novel is really short, so I don't feel like using all of that fluff and like all of these extra words like did harm to the novel. What I didn't remember was all of the foreshadowing that took place in this. Like, this book is basically a foreshadow to what is going to happen in the rest of the series. So this series is 8 books long, and this is the first one where we meet our main character, Roland. He is a gunslinger. He is the last of his kind, and he's on this quest to find the man in black, because the man in black, has all of the answers for him. And so we follow him on this journey where he also meets a young boy named Jake, and the two form a bond, and the bond is so beautiful. Like, King really wrote a really nice, it was almost like a father-son relationship, even though they're not father and son, so it was just really, really beautiful. And like, watching the two of them go on to this journey, and we're like, what's the purpose of Jake? And then you realize, oh, the purpose of Jake is because he's going to help him on his journey to the Dark Tower. So we've barely scratched the surface of this Dark Tower. We don't really know what the purpose of the tower is just yet. I think it's, I've read this. Obviously this is a reread for me, and I've read this, but I honestly don't really remember a lot. I remember really enjoying it, but I don't actually remember a lot of what happens. It was 5-6 years ago now that I read them, and I've read a lot of other books since then, so it makes sense that I don't remember everything that happened, hence all of the foreshadowing that's been going on in this. I was like, whoa. It's like, oh, he's put this in here because this is gonna happen somewhere else. Oh, this is here. It's like, wow. Every chapter felt like just a lot of foreshadowing. I was like, King, you can back up on that. We don't have to do this like all the time. So this ended like basically where it's like, you need to pick up the next novel, because if you don't pick up the next novel, you're not gonna know what's happening. So I need to know what's gonna happen. Like, he's like it's just that banging. I don't know if it's gonna be picked up, but it's driving me nuts, and I can't focus on what I'm trying to say. But I'm gonna try and plow through this because I'm almost done talking about my thoughts, because those are basically all of them that I have. Like, I can't wait to pick up book 2. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be picking that one up, because I'm not sure when that one was released, and it's not the next one in chronological order. As I say, I'm going in chronological order with all of King's work. So those are my thoughts on The Gunslinger. I'm happy that I reread it, and I would reread it again, even though I probably never will. But and I know a lot of people really liked this, and this is more of a fantasy series than it is a horror series. So I'm really excited to continue on with this and just like reread and be re-immersed in this world again. So those were my I feel like those thoughts were all over the place. I hope they make sense. But anyways, so speaking of chronological order, the next book that I will be reading is a chunky one. So this is Stephen King's short story collection, Different Seasons. Holy moly. Yeah, I've already mapped it out to see how long it's going to take me. This has only 4 short stories. You'd think there were like 12. There are only 4. But I've mapped it out. It's going to take me about 14 weeks to get through. So we're looking for me to be finishing this at the end of, or the beginning of June, sorry, not the end, the beginning of June. This one has the short story for Shawshank Redemption, which I've never seen before, so I'm very excited to get to this, to finally read that short story and to watch the movie, because I've not seen either or both. This is also the one that has The Body, which is the short story that's based on Stand By Me, and I've seen Stand By Me like so many times. I love that movie, so I'm very excited to get to the book version and see, and like kind of do like a little comparison. So that's what I'm really excited about. So that's this one. Actually, back to this for 2 seconds. This does have a movie. I'm not going to be watching it. I made the conscious decision. It took me a long time to figure out if I was going to do this or not. Because I thought the movie that was released in 2017 was called The Gunslinger. It's actually not. It's called The Dark Tower. And when I Googled it, it said that it has bits and pieces of each book into the movie. And I was like, well, if I never read any of the other books, I wouldn't watch the movie yet at this point. But because I've already seen the series, I was like, oh, should I? But I was like, you know what, I'm going to hold off. And once I get to the last book, which is going to be so long from now, I think that's when I'm going to watch the movie. So that's that. So no movie on this one just yet, which is sad, but there are going to be a few movies for this one. So looking forward, looking out for this one. So that's all I've got for y'all today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, a do your thing. If you've read this book, shout at me in the comments and let me know what you thought of it. And I will see you all in my next video. So thank you and bye guys!